Hey, how's it going? Jordan here. Today's a slightly different video. As you can see, this is not my usual location. I'm at a friend's apartment in Berlin right now. I'm on my first holiday since Christmas, so it's been very needed. I'm here in Berlin for another couple of days. I've been here since Monday, and then next week I'm in Bremen. And we're about halfway through the year, and I just wanted to sit down and talk to you guys because this channel has grown quite a lot this year since I've been uploading every 2 weeks the entire year, which has felt amazing. It's been great to have such positive feedback and see more people commenting, more people joining us, especially from the video I released about a month ago on Ayrton Moreira. That's like the most successful video on the channel, and it was insane to get nearly 10,000 views in a month on one video. Never had anything like that before. So if you hear from that video, thank you very much for joining us. Whilst I may be on vacation, I didn't stop drumming. I went and visited my friends at Cortejo Baiano, a great bloco afro here in Berlin, run by the wonderful people Alvin and Eddie, who are just incredible players and lovely, lovely people. So I thought with there being lots of new people here, and as the channel continues to grow, there's going to be people who come who have no idea who I am, which is totally cool. This started out mainly as people who knew me watching, and now there's more people who don't know me, and therefore it feels right to maybe explain my story, my connection with percussion from different world genres, and why I'm even uploading in the first place. So today is just going to be a bit of a chat between us, just to share my story, let you know who I am and why I do what I do. I've been drumming for more than half my life now. I'm 27, I started when I was 11 or 12, so it's been 15, 16 years at this stage. I got started through a percussion group in North Edinburgh called Pulse of the Place, who still exists, who are doing great work. Basically, I kind of fell into it by accident. I was already involved in other clubs that were happening in this community centre, like drama and filmmaking. Those were the first kind of two hobbies that I really got into apart from guitar. I tried everything else as a kid, which subsequently I have ADHD, as we didn't know at the time, so I tried a lot of different things like karate, football, judo, cross country, swimming, basketball, boxing, you name it. I tried all the sports, didn't really work for me. And so then, being peer pressured to stay and try a free drumming class, I stayed with my friends and then went into this room with maybe 20 to 30 other kids from, I think it was kind of 12 to 18 was in that group, and immediately was almost in the middle, in between two of my friends who played the same high school as me, and it just hit me. It just really, really hit me, and I've never really looked back since then. That moment was definitely there's a before and after me trying a drum for the first time. After that, I got really, really invested in not only the craft of drumming, but as well understanding a bit more about the culture as soon as I started to get that. To me, having only played in a batucada context where there's no music, it's just drums, or no other music, I guess. It was a few years later that I first heard Olodum for the first time. I was like, whoa, there's a language and songs here, what's this? Which of course is obvious in retrospect, but when you are discovering things, it's not always obvious. At that point, my curiosity just expanded heavily, being aware of all these different groups and being interested in language and the cultural issues in Brazil at the time. It was around the FIFA World Cup and the Olympics in Brazil, so there was a lot of talk about the pacification of favelas, so I got really interested in that. Conservation issues in the Amazon, you name it, I was interested. As well as other sort of socio-political things also. I was kind of starting to get interested in all of that at that time. And the Brazilian aspect was a really good outlet for that, and I felt like it helped me play better because I connected those two things, because the art and the culture that we partake in isn't separate from those things. I'm rambling a lot here. Suffice to say, got really, really invested in it and was probably addicted. And then I started getting more training. I went down to Manchester to hang out with my friends at Global Grooves, who I didn't know at the time. where I got to learn more about different types of Brazilian drumming rather than just playing in a bateria. Tried maracatu, tried candomblé, tried Rio style samba for the first time properly. I'd played a little bit but wasn't super familiar with it. And that just again opened up a whole new universe of like, oh right, there's more. I've only scratched the surface and I've been playing for a while now. Even 15 years in, I feel that way. Like I feel like I've only scratched the surface, which is really, really exciting. I was about 16 years old at this point and I was just drumming as much as I could. I was already playing guitar and singing with school, and that was what I had to do my exams. But I was just like, any time I wasn't in school, I was trying to be drumming or do something related to drumming. When I left school, I already had some freelance opportunities teaching music. I started teaching music voluntarily with other drummers in this group in Edinburgh, Pulse of the Place. I was 14 years old and I was teaching 8-year-olds on a weekly basis material that I'd already learned in that band. So at 18, when I left school, I didn't have enough qualifications to go to university. I didn't want to stay in school. So I just did a lot of freelance work. Was on the benefit system here in the UK, the welfare, whilst juggling freelance work, whilst juggling other really terrible jobs like working in a pound shop. I upgraded a bit and started working at a hospital. So lots of things were happening. I was just juggling and developing my skills and trying to travel around and meet other people and just take a lot of it in. I first went to Brazil in 2017 on a course in Rio de Janeiro, which was like one of these light bulb moments of just before and after. Completely different person. Came back from that trip, being able to go to like a spiritual homeland almost, even though I'd never been before. After that first Brazil trip, I had an opportunity to become the musical director of a community samba band, which was great. The Edinburgh Samba School, who have been a huge support of my work. Very grateful to that community. And so with them, it was their 25th anniversary year, which was really, really exciting. And the first time that I really was able to take charge of a group in that way, and I definitely had the autonomy to do that. At the end of that, it timed up really nicely with an opportunity from the European Voluntary Service, which was a fund that we had access to before Brexit, that funded me to be an artist in residence in Sao Paulo in Brazil for 2 months during Carnival. Quit my day job and wrapped up a lot of my freelance work for the time being, and then went to Brazil for 2 months. Spent that time with my family in Sao Paulo, my Brazilian family. Silvani Rodrigues, Bloco Me Lembra Que Eu Vou, Banda Alana. Hung out with some of my friends at Mono Bloco as well. So generally just had a really transformative time. It's how I learned Portuguese, really. I'd spoken a little bit. I always tried to translate songs. I tried to teach songs in classes. And coming back after 2 months in Sao Paulo, where 3 people I knew spoke English, it was just really, really useful being stuck in 3-hour traffic with only one person who can speak Portuguese and no English. You kind of just have to learn. I think that's been the biggest game changer for my musicality, actually, is learning another language, or learning the language at least of the music that I'm primarily playing. Since then, I've been continuing to work throughout the UK carnival scene, playing in community music groups primarily, running instrument-specific classes and joining different groups, and just still generally try to take in as much as I can whilst also developing my brand and my career. I've also been leaning into playing a lot professionally with artists. I've played in orchestras, I've played with singer-songwriters, rock bands, you name it. I try to do as much percussion playing and even like hybrid percussion kit playing too, in bands as much as I can. As we speak, I'm currently in the process of setting up my own bloco, which is really, really exciting. It's been a vision for like 5 years to put this together. It's called Bloco Dandara, happening in East Glasgow, if you know anyone in the area, where we're going to be playing a wide variety of music, primarily focusing on a kind of monobloco, Mancala Flamenga, Kizomba, bateria setup, where we've got a bateria and then we've also got a band of like singers and cavaco players and bass players and whatever else. And we play music. We play musical arrangements using primarily Brazilian rhythms, but also open to exploring others in the future too. So that's starting in a month or two. I'm going to make a whole video just talking about that process because that's been really daunting. I've been documenting the process as I've went for the last 5 years. I've got a couple of videos on Instagram about that already, like just reels that are dead short. So yeah, like Brazil and Brazilian culture really resonates with me, and like a lot of my Brazilian friends think that I have been Brazilian in a past life or whatever. I'm not, I'm very much Scottish. However, there is a lot that I do that does resonate with me from that culture, so it is very strange. I had a few identity crises at this point. But yeah, suffice to say, Brazilian percussion is my passion. It is my vocation to study that music and try to represent it authentically and pass on the knowledge, because obviously I'm a white working class guy from Scotland, sure, but there's a lot of privilege there. I have the privilege of being working class in a G7 country as opposed to working class in, say, South America. So those are very, very different lived realities. So I try to, utilize that, and I don't teach a single class, no matter where in the world I'm teaching, no matter the age group or the accessibility needs of the group. I try to teach other contextual information too. I teach 8-year-old kids in school about maculele and show them videos about it, and like show them about samba, and like find videos of like kids in Rio playing it with like bottles and tin cans and stuff. So yeah, I always try to like tap into the cultural aspect, and it's part of my approach on this channel too. I don't just teach lessons. I don't just say, hey, we're gonna look at this rhythm. You know, mad respect to anyone who's done that and put in their own study, but for me it's an utmost priority to be passing on the cultural contextual information at all times. Primarily because if someone happens across a video I make and that's the only access they have to that information, they're looking for one video and they just look at one thing, my thing is that, then I want them to at least have had a chance at learning that cultural information, as opposed to just coming in thinking, oh yeah, that's a cool rhythm, I'm going to take that and do whatever with it. That's cool. You can do whatever you want with it, but yeah, to me it's important to pass on that information too. In terms of other styles, I've over the years studied Afro-Cuban music like bata and conga habanera. I've studied Indian music like playing bhangra and a bit of madrang and tabla, played a little bit of West African music too. And generally, like, I take the approach of thinking about all these world musical styles and applying them in different contexts. Studied Arabic music too, and Balkan music. Generally, I'm just very interested in folkloric music in any context. At this point, I've been releasing videos every 2 weeks for this whole year so far. It looks as though I'm going to be able to sustain that the whole year. I can't foresee any reason why not. I'm already still ahead on video production, which is great. Very, very proud of that also. I was tempted to increase it to weekly, but I just feel like that's going to be a risk right now. And I need to improve my systems a bit and get a few more reps in before I can consider upping the upload frequency. There should be more videos in the kind of video essay format, more videos in the similar vein of the Arieto video, because that really seemed to resonate with people. I'm a percussion geek, I'm a language geek, and ultimately I just want people to experience joy through music, and for people to experience other cultures, because exposure is the best way to, you know, improve our understanding of others and improve our empathy for others, which are important values for me. So if you've made it this far through my ramblings, thank you very much. I appreciate you. This video is sponsored by me. I mean, I'm not sponsoring, I'm not putting any money behind this. But if you want, I've got other resources on my website. I've got free resources. I've got 2 ebooks. One, which is a bunch of notation and cultural information and high quality MP3 videos, all about Brazilian rhythms for percussion group setups. And then the second one is a new release, which is a language guide for people wanting to translate English into Brazilian Portuguese for travel. It also includes musical information too, like musical terminology that you can translate, which is quite useful, I think. Thank you so much for watching. Next video is going to be all about bossa nova and bossa clave. I'm not going to get into it, but yeah, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here, and look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take it easy.